Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Rockin' Dave from Southwest Florida, off the Gulf Coast side of things. And welcome to How to Do video number 5. Okay, number 5 is going to be how to develop speed and control, or speed and accuracy. And in this video, I'm going to kind of cut to the chase and get right to the point, and then I'm going to explain why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. But in a nutshell, to understand this, let's equate this to walking and running. Okay, you crawl before you walk, and you walk before you run. And the reason being is so we could gain control of our bodies. The reason why I recommend people play slowly and accurately and then work on speed bursts is because it doesn't make sense to just try to play fast right away and have no control. And I know what I'm talking about in this situation because I started playing guitar in 1974, and for 6 years of playing I had a very sloppy picking hand. When I graduated high school in 1981, two of my best guitar buddies, Andy and Angel, we'd hang out together, and I found out about guitar players like Al Di Meola, who has an incredibly strong and accurate picking technique. And that blew my mind because I never heard someone play that fast and accurately, not just on the electric with a nice smooth overdrive, but on the acoustic guitar as well. So I come from a different era and a different time, but you could see why I'm saying the things that I say, because these are people that had incredible control. Because one thing, back in the 70s, we did not have a whole lot of high gain amps. It was digital processing was starting to come out. I want to say, toward like 1978, 79. You had some of the digital reverbs in the recording studios, that I'm aware of, but you didn't really have anything available like we have now. Nowhere near it. So you had to rely on your technique. So anyways, this is a good way how to build that technique. Now I'm doing this on the acoustic guitar for a reason, and I am not plugged in for a reason. So I'm gonna use one example, playing fast to get used to momentum. Now what I'm saying is not to contradict what anybody is saying out there, so just give me an opportunity to explain this. What people are saying out there when they mean to learn how to play fast is to play fast, I know what they mean. What they mean is to get used to the momentum of speed, you do have to push the envelope. So one way of understanding this, if you take speed bursts on one string, and I'm going to just from the 5th fret position to the 7th fret position, 8th fret position, 12th fret, and to the 15th fret. That's the pattern I'm playing. So it's B, C, B, and A, C, B, and A, D, C, and B, D, C, and B. My third finger's not doing anything right there. E, D, and C, E, D, C, F, E, D, F, E, D, G, F, E. Now I'm going to do this. I'm starting with the pinky for a reason, because a lot of guitar players, the pinky is the weakest finger, and I'm also starting with an upstroke. So when I first do the pattern, it's up, down, then down, then back to up, down, then down, up, down. It's alternating. It's always now when we go to cross the next string that gives us a problem. I know for a fact it gave me a problem. So this is why it is so important to understand to play slowly and accurately, and then work on your speed burst. And because it's only going to make sense to do this. So I'm going to take my metronome and I'm going to show you how you could do this. I have my metronome set, I don't know if you can see, it's 130 beats per minute. If you can see that. It's at 130 beats per minute. Of course the light's shining on the little glare, maybe giving a little glare on this little glass screen. Sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do, to every click, I'm going to play a note. Sorry about that. I get myself carried away here. Let me do this again. I'm on the same string, same fingering. Now I'm going to play in between clicks. This is where guitar players have a hard time understanding this. I'm going to go back to the second one. In between clicks. That gets a value on the click. This note does not. That finger, that note gets a click. Watch. Now if I speed up, where only the pinky gets a click, kind of hard to understand maybe. For some it is. Because you can never assume that everybody knows all this stuff. So, if you want to do this, where you want to do your speed bursts on one string, if you stay to playing a note on every click, those are called quarter notes. This is the best way to do this, is literally play a note for every click. And then gradually speed up the metronome and continue to play a note on every click. So it'll sound like this. And so forth. And don't, if you feel like you could speed the metronome up within your practice time as you just started doing your practice time, meaning like, okay, I just turned the camera on and I just showed you this, now I'm going to speed my metronome up to, let's say, 140 beats per minute. You're going to feel the gradual momentum speed up. And so forth. I'm trying to get to the point without, doing this for a very long time and boring people, because for some this could be very boring. Now I'm just going to speed this up to 170 beats per minute. You do not have to do this, but don't freak out and say, oh my god, 170 beats per minute. Because watch how slow it actually is playing quarter notes. See, I'm hitting a note on every click. Now, I'm just going to take it to 200. There, it's at 200. Now I'm playing to every click. This is for people who are trying to develop this technique, but yet they don't understand the concept of playing with a metronome. Okay. This metronome I think goes up to 250. So let's just speed it all the way up to as fast as it could go. And we're just gonna do quarter notes. Oh, wait, look at that. It went past and it went back to, okay, here we go, to 30. Okay, yeah, it's 250. Probably thinking, wow, how am I gonna be able to do that? So, I just want you to understand what that sounds like. Once you get the concept of playing to every click, now here is where you could gauge your progress and say, okay, I'm going to play to a click, but the click is going to be on my pinky, or the first note I play. Since we're playing 3 notes per string, let's see what this sounds like, and you'll start to understand how you could develop your speed and your accuracy. So we're going to take this, let's take this down to 100 beats per minute. Yeah, it's going down, 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 down. There, we're at 100 beats per minute. Now compared to 250, that sounds like it's dragging, right? Wait, when you gotta play slower, it's really dragging. But there's a reason for all this. That's where you put your expression and your emotion in. That's what makes music sound like music. Okay, here we go. Again, every click is gonna be on the pinky. There we go. It's off sync a little bit. Now that might be too fast in the very beginning. So we're going to slow her down to, let's say, 70 beats per minute. Never be afraid or ashamed or anything like that, feeling that you got to play it slow, because you want to gain control. This might be easy for people to understand. See, now when you switch the pattern and the fingering, because the next pattern is different fingering, this will make sense. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to leave it at 70 beats per minute, but we're going to switch to the next string. So instead of playing 3 notes, we're going to play 6 notes. And I'm going to start the pattern again with the pinky. I'm going to start it on my high E string, then go to my B string. And in this case, it's going to be the same pattern. Pinky, 3rd finger, index, pinky, 3rd finger, index. 8, 7, 5, 8, 7, 5. C, B, A, G, G flat, or F sharp, E. This scale is known as a G major scale, or the relative to G major is E minor. Okay? But let's just focus on the technique so you can grasp this. Because it's always when you switch to the next string that the old picking hand goes and everything gets slop and flop and frustration sets in, and then I quit and here comes the cussing and everything else. I say these things because I've been down this road, so I know. Okay, let's start this. Let's see if I get myself in sync. Again, the pinky will be on the click. Now if you want to switch to the next pattern up, it's pinky, middle, index on both strings. Okay, so if you're not ready to switch patterns because your hand is jumping, I would suggest doing equivalent to the C major, A minor scale. No sharps, no flats. But here's the deal with this. Again, cross two strings, we're playing 6 notes, and we're starting with our pinky. In this situation, it's going to be your pinky, third, index, and then your pinky, middle, index. And the frets are on the high E string 8, 7, 5. On the B string, second string, is 8, 6, 5. Okay, let's see if we can get through this. I'm going to show you what my right hand, or I'm going to tell you what my right hand is doing. I'm trying to hit the note solid, not weak. Because when you build speed, you will be using a little muscle there. Now I'm palm muting, and when I go ultra fast, I do change my wrist to more of a looser wrist. See what happens when you try to play fast? It can be easy to lose control. Okay. Now, I did go off from according, to the timer. So I wanted you to see that, but I was still able to maintain more of a smoother, speed it up smoother. And you could hear the notes solid. I will be doing more of a series with this type of building the speed within our How to Do video, because it's something that people try to get a hold of, and I think if they approach it wrong, they have a sloppy technique and they start building up bad habits, and right away they'll do it on the electric guitar, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I do this on my electric as well, but you have to have control, and it's so easy to hide behind any type of distortion or gain or anything like that, or sustain, or if you got a compressor, anything like that. But to do it on an acoustic guitar, that really is going to tell you if you have the technique really as solid as you want it. And by doing it slow and then trying to work up the speed bursts, you really start to gain control by doing it slowly. And again, it's not how fast a person could play, but it's how clear you could hear the notes. And then when it's sped up, that's what people notice. That's what really stands out. Because you could really play super fast and not accurate and go real light with the hand and everything, and it's going to give the sensation that, wow, this guy is really tearing it up. And then if someone comes by and they do this on the acoustic with maybe slower than what that first guy did, but the notes are accurate and they could hear the notes, that's gonna gain the attention. It's gonna be very noticeable. And again, this is not to say that if a person wants to play at a certain style and develop a certain technique that so they could call their own. No, as long as you're making music, that's what really matters. But what is really important when you gain control is when you have to play melodies and something that has to stand out. That's why you have to have control. Plus, how many times have you played and you were tired and you played at the convenience of being inside your house or at the rehearsal spot, and you were a little bit tired and fatigued, and you could feel like, okay, I could get by with this, no problem. But try that on a gig. And I've been there numerous times, whether I'm traveling and doing a 4-hour gig or traveling 5 hours to do a 2-hour gig, whatever the case, there's times I've been fatigued. So what has helped me throughout the years of having the control over the instrument and be able to play clearly and then gradually do my speed bursts and things of that nature. Plus, what helps to fight fatigue is if you have diversity in your playing. If you could play very slowly and melodically with a lot of emotion, and that grabs the attention, that just people are gravitated to that. That kind of helps you get in sync, to catch up with you feeling tired that day, and you got to get through the gig, so you still are able to put on a good performance and things of that nature, as opposed to feeling like you're going to be on all the time. Because, we're only human beings, and we are going to tire, and we have to be prepared for that. But that's another subject for another time. But you can see how much it's applied to this method of building speed. So this video number 5 is kind of an introduction to building speed. I did not want to waste a whole lot of time, because there's a lot of time that could be talked about where you could actually see and you can actually practice along with me how you can build your speed and your speed technique and things of that nature. My other videos I'm going to have will cover major and minor scales up and down the fretboard in a very basic boxed way, so you can tell what key things are in, and I'm going to name the names of the notes. So that's going to be a longer video as well. So I'm going to also put this in conjunction with that type of a video, where it might take some long, it might take some time, but trust me, you will gain your speed quicker in a short amount of overall time if you take the time to do it accurately than if you come rushing out of the gate, my friends, and then, next thing you know, 2 years go by and you're basically at the same point when you started, feeling like, okay, I don't really have it, but I think I have it. Whereas if you were to take it the time that's required to gain the control, it naturally will speed up. And the beauty of this is it usually stays with you, because what you are doing, you are training your hands to work in sync with each other, plus your mind to digest these patterns, so that it comes to the point where you could do this in your sleep and you could start to speed up and slow down and maintain that accuracy. So I hope everyone enjoys this video. There will be more of these speed developing videos coming up, as well as this. I guess you could call this maybe an introduction to it. So again, enjoy the videos. If you have not subscribed, please do so. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And these videos are really meant to help people develop the technique, and so they'll have lasting staying power. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. Again, this is Rockin' Dave from Southwest Florida. Until next time, stay safe. Hold those doors open for people. Like Ben Coombs always says, keep those doors open for people. Hold them open. Desire to inspire. And God bless.